Welcome, everyone, to Exploring the Unsolved with Melissa, the podcast that delves into the most mysterious and haunting true crime mysteries that remain unsolved. I'm your host, Melissa, and today we're investigating the tragic and perplexing death of 18-year-old Tiffany Valiante.
Subscribe.
Was her death a suicide? Or was it something far more sinister? Let's explore the mystery. Tiffany Valiante was a bright and promising young woman. She had recently graduated from high school and was ready to take on the world. At just 18 years old, Tiffany had a bright future ahead of her, living with her parents, Stephanie and Dinah, in their rural New Jersey home, just 20 miles outside of Atlantic City. And she had dreams. And Tiffany wasn't just your average high school student. She was a star athlete and a standout volleyball player, and had received a full scholarship to Mercy College in New York. She was set to join the college volleyball team as a middle starter, a rare position given to new students, according to her mother. And she had aspirations to one day play for the U.S. volleyball team, possibly beyond the Olympics. And she even had aspirations outside of volleyball. She planned to even join the military, or maybe even explore many of the classes she planned to take. In short, she had many aspirations in her college career. Friends and family describe her as upbeat, a vibrant person with always a smile on her face. She had two older half-sisters, Jessica and Crystal, from one of her parents' previous relationship, and she was close with them. The future seemed bright, but as we all know, life doesn't always go according to plan. On the night of Sunday, July 12th, Tiffany attended her cousin's graduation party just across the street from her home. According to everyone there, she seemed she was in great spirits, talking about decorating her dorm room, planning her college future, and excited for what's to come. But after a while, Tiffany left the party and went to hang out with some friends. She later returned home and took a shower, and then the mood shifted. A call came in from a friend asking if she can come over. The situation quickly turned sour when Tiffany's friend and the mother accused her of stealing her friend's credit card. Her mother, Dinah, stood by Tiffany, defending her daughter, but soon it became clear that the accusations were true, and Tiffany had in fact stolen and used her friend's card without her permission, leading to a heated argument between the two. The tensions escalated, and by the end of the night, Tiffany was gone. By 9:28 p.m., Tiffany had walked out the door, and no one saw her again. Her parents began searching for her, but despite their efforts, no one had spotted Tiffany. In fact, despite 20 cars being on the road at the time, no one seemed to notice 6'2" Tiffany walking in the dark. Her mother, Dinah, called Tiffany's friend, and she agreed to help. But when she tried to call Tiffany, her calls were not answered. As the night grew darker, their fears intensified. Tiffany had always been afraid of the dark, and something didn't feel right. At 11 p.m., Tiffany's phone was found on the family property. Stephen, Tiffany's father, remembered there was a deer cam installed on their land. When the footage was reviewed, they saw Tiffany walking away from the house at 2:29 p.m. After that, there were no more signs of Tiffany. With this footage, along with the fact they found her phone, fears intensified, as Tiffany's phone, like for many teenage girls, was her lifeline and was always attached to her hand. She never would have abandoned it, according to her parents. Unfortunately, it wasn't until midnight that Tiffany's uncle, Michael, drove around the area looking for his niece. He drove past Norman Road, and that's when he saw police at the railroad tracks. They hadn't seen Tiffany, but upon speaking to them, they informed him that they had discovered a female body at the tracks. Michael identified the body as that of Tiffany's. At 2:30 a.m., the Valentine family received the heartbreaking news. Their daughter was dead, their baby girl. But some questions lingered. Was this really a suicide, as the authorities immediately ruled it as? Or was it something far more sinister at play? Let's look into the theories and what may have happened to Tiffany. Theory 1. The police quickly ruled Tiffany's death suicide. They claimed that she had jumped in front of the train, but Tiffany's family was not convinced. They knew her better than anyone. Tiffany had been planning for her future, making college plans, planning on decorating her dorm, and preparing for trips. In fact, she had a trip planned for Six Flags later in the week. And she was a young woman with dreams, preparing for her future. And no one who knew her thought she would take her life. However, some of Tiffany's friends came forward, saying that she had been struggling. They claimed that she had been acting differently in the days leading up to her death, but no one seemed to know why. They claimed she was hiding behind her smile. Some speculated that she was dealing with personal issues, possibly related to her sexuality. There was more rumors that her parents didn't fully accept her sexual orientation, adding more fuel to the fire. And on one final note, despite the family claiming she was upbeat, many people point to the fact that her spending time with her family at the graduation party and living time with her friends was her way of saying goodbye. If Tiffany wasn't planning on taking her own life, perhaps this was her way of silently telling everyone, seeing her family and friends one final time, goodbye. The credit card argument could have been the final straw that broke Tiffany's back. And maybe adding in some personal issues that her parents were not aware of, Tiffany may in fact commit suicide. However, then there's the second theory. Tiffany was murdered. Tiffany friends believe that someone, possibly a group of people, most likely men, according to her mother, lured her away from her home. The deer cam footage seemed to show headlights in the distance, and the way Tiffany's head was pointed at, indicating that she may have heard someone call her name, was the moment the family believes to have gone into the car willingly, not realizing something was wrong. Either she made a mistake or was unaware of the sinister intentions. They speculated that she may have been assaulted, possibly sexually, with her clothing being torn off and her items, including her phone, tossed aside. According to her family, Tiffany may have escaped her attackers and tried to run, but in the chaos, she ended up on the tracks, possibly not seeing the train in time.
Help! 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 Help me! Please help me! Help me! Please help me!
The autopsy revealed injuries that didn't appear to come from the train itself, but these injuries weren't fully investigated. Tiffany's clothing was missing, and she was only found in her sports bra and underwear. Her shoes and other personal items, except for her white jean shorts, were scattered around the scene. Her feet were surprisingly clean, considering she had been walking barefoot. It was also adding weight to this possibly being a homicide, besides the fact that the police were not the ones who found the personal items. It was in fact the family who found them. So how did police miss this the first time? Did they not properly search the scene, or was something else at play? The other theory was that her feet were clean, and yet glass and branches were on the railroad tracks. Someone who's walking on these tracks would have had cuts, and people in working boots have claimed it's hard to even walk in wearing shoes on. So why were Tiffany's feet clean? Did she jump on the tracks, or was she pushed onto the tracks? Adding another way to the theory is that the family claims they also found a bloody axe at the crime scene. And since Tiffany had injuries that did not appear to come from the train, could they come from the axe? We don't know. Once again, it's hard to determine was a victim of a homicide, as unfortunately, her body was cremated shortly after the ruling of her death. Since Tiffany's death, her parents have refused to let the case go cold. They continue to push for answers as to what really happened that night, hiring experts and uncovering new details that suggest the police may have missed crucial evidence. Despite the ongoing fight for justice, Tiffany's case has gained new attention from true crime enthusiasts and has featured on podcasts and documentaries, more recently on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Quick note of this, only Tiffany's family members were featured in this episode. None of her friends nor people from the investigation were interviewed. And now, a $40,000 reward has been offered for information leading to an arrest. But as for now, the case remains unsolved. Tiffany's room has been left untouched by her family, as if this is how she left it and they don't want to touch it. A memorial stands in her honor and her parents continue to fight for the truth. So what happened to Tiffany Valiante? Did she take her own life? Most likely due to personal issues and other struggles that she did not let her parents know? Or was she the victim of a violent attack? Was she running from someone when she ended up on those tracks? Or did she willingly step into harm's way? With so many questions left unanswered, and very little, we may never know the truth. But one thing is certain. Tiffany's family is not giving up on her. They're demanding justice, and they deserve to know what really happened to their daughter. What do you think? Was it a suicide due to personal issues and Tiffany was hiding behind a smile to hide a deep pain? Or was this a valid murder due to a botched, failed attempt at sexual assault? If you have any information or insights into this case, please reach out. Every bit of information brings us one step closer to the truth. Thank you for tuning into Exploring the Unsolved with Melissa. This case, like so many others, remind us that sometimes the truth is far from what it seems. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, some mysteries are truly never solved.